legends start. In-depth words, cutting teeth as cleats. Every play analyzed, heartbeat by beat. Interviews, raw stories unfold. Behind the curtain, the secrets told. The Golden Broom Podcast, sweeping the game from the 50-yard line to the Hall of Fame. Breaking it down, tearing it apart. The Golden Broom Podcast, where legends start.
Welcome in. It is season 4 of the Golden Broom Podcast. I'm your host, Cody Slavinsky, joined as always by Mr. Vandy Chris. Friend, we've done it. Year number 4. How you feeling?
I'm ready to get this thing kicked off. Matter of fact, I'm ready to spot the damn ball.
Agreed. Hey. So, Chris, before we start this show, I think right now it's time. I think we each need to give our hottest take for the college football season. You're the connoisseur of hot takes. Lead me off. Give me your hottest take, first thing that comes to your mind right now.
The hottest take that comes to my mind right this second, the Iowa Hawkeyes go 4-8.
Whew. Ouch. But I agree. I can see that, unfortunately. It's just like you were saying before the show. I mean, they are a team they're a good team. They are. They have a lot of talent on their roster, but their schedule is absolutely horrible.
I would not want that schedule.
No, not at all. But hey, that's why the game's played, though. We'll see if they can overcome the expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Man, well, you ready for my crazy hot take?
Give it.
If LSU does not win a national championship this year with the roster that they have, I will officially refer to Brian Kelly as Dave Van Horn 2.0.
Okay.
If you know, you know.
Okay. I got you.
Simple as that. But that being said, LSU is getting some publicity right now, and I'm loving it. JD Pickle from On3 Sports, that's it. He's picking LSU win the Natty this year. I like it. I think it's a very good possibility. It'd be something to win a baseball and a football one in the same year, but
Here's the thing, though. LSU's going to start the season off behind the 8 ball.
they're going to.
You're not beating Clemson.
I will say this, and this may shock you. Not only do I think that we defeat Clemson, but I think it's nasty. I think it's going to be the best coaching job of Brian Kelly's career in that game.
Brian Kelly is not beating Dabo Swinney with 4 of the top 10 picks in the NFL draft. Not happening.
He might.
In fact, Cade Klubnik might go for 400 against your defense.
No, hey, I'm telling you, this defense ain't what you've seen in the past, my friend. Different.
Okay.
Different. But hey, that's the beauty of it. The game's got to be played. We can say whatever we want to say, what we think is going to happen. We can't prove that we're right because the game has to be played.
See, I can prove my point because Brian Kelly at LSU is over in season opener.
He is. He very much is. I mean, his opening season at LSU, we lost on a blocked PAT. We would have went to overtime. No guarantee we would have won that game regardless. But a blocked PAT, as time ran out, gives Florida State the victory when LSU came back. That sucked. I ripped my shirt. I was so excited. It was my favorite LSU polo, and I ripped that sucker off. And then we lost. And then my youngest was conceived that night. But, yeah.
But we have to be honest about that game. Florida State blew them out and took their foot off the gas and let them back into it.
I mean, it was a low-scoring game. It wasn't like it was a straight blowout. Now, the second year that we played them, that was totally different. Very close first half. Second half, the defense had nothing for them. And Florida State scored on every possession they had the ball.
That first game, didn't Florida State jump out to like a 2-touchdown lead and LSU had to come back on them?
I mean,
and tie it late?
Yeah, but it was only
they took their foot off.
It was 20-19.
They
or
took their
21-20,
foot off the
whatever.
they took their foot off the gas.
Sure. And then now last year, I can say we took the foot off the gas. That was embarrassing to USC. I mean, of all the things that I've ever seen out of an LSU team, that game stung the most for me, and it was
Because
very unfortunate.
you had to deal with a certain person that is no longer affiliated with the Golden Broom podcast, and
But he didn't even give me any smack about it. That was the thing. Like it was a weird game, but it is what it is.
here we go. It's football time, damn it.
It is, man. It is. Let's share some graphics. Let's have some fun here. Season 4, episode 1. Tonight we are predicting the 2025 college football season. With our crystal balls on, we're excited. As you may see, we got another sponsor up there, Xylo, or Nicotine Pouch Company. If you need a good lip pillow, you got to check out Xylo. We'll be getting more information shared on them in a future show. Still working out getting the promo codes and all that set up the right way, because right now it's just a weird combination of letters, to say the least. So going forward, we will be working with them. Very excited about it. But let's get into this thing. Our plans moving forward for the show, because as you know, during baseball season, we were a Tuesday night show. And as you see, today's Friday and we're back. If you remember us when we were labeled as the Golden Boot Podcast, we were a Monday and Friday show. We would do a 2-hour show, and that would be our thing. Occasionally, we'd have some YouTube videos here and there outside of our shows, but we've got a new setup coming, and it's not quite yet. We gotta get a little bit closer to the season to really start releasing these videos, and probably next week's when we'll start recording. But we're gonna do a live show on Fridays, 8:30 Central. 8:30 Central is always our time. It's always been our time. It always will be our time. So that's going to be the plan for that. Generally, there'll be about an hour 15-minute show. Tonight might be a little bit longer than that because why not? But then weekdays, Monday through Friday, we will have a mini YouTube episode. Each day will be about a different conference. So it'll be like, let's say Monday's the ACC, Tuesday's the Big Ten, Wednesday's the Big 12, Thursday's the SEC, and then Friday would be Group of 5, which would be fun, I think, to really put some more coverage into the Group of 5, because I will tell you, looking into the Sun Belt Conference alone, that conference is stacked this year. So much talent in that conference. I actually look forward to heavily watching their games this season. But they'll be short episodes, 10, 20 minutes long. Just talk about what's relevant news-wise in the conference, preview some games, review some games, just quick takes, and just a fun little show for everybody. So we'll be doing that Monday through Friday. We're releasing them first thing in the morning each day. But Friday nights will be our night. We may decide to do 2-night shows and modify things again. We don't know. But right now, I think this will be a good plan moving forward. I'm excited. What do you think, Chris?
I'm ready. I mean, those little 10 to 20 minute mini shows, those are going to be fun, because typically what happens, we'll get to talking and we'll forget about covering the whole country in our show, and we'll start getting SEC centric.
Yep.
So the mini shows will keep us honest and
yes,
give us an opportunity to look at other conferences and where they're at.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I mean, don't get me wrong, we are SEC fans. Like our main team comes from the SEC. He's Vanderbilt, I'm LSU, as you probably have figured out by now. And we definitely get stuck on our own teams, and we will just pander on about them and just talk and talk and talk. So in order to prevent that, we're going to do these mini episodes where each day has set teams that we're talking about, and it'll be a fun little transition and really just kind of expand our world more, because both of us, we follow all the conferences. We just like to talk about our own teams a lot and the teams that we hate. So it works out quite well for us. But that is that. Very excited about that. So before we go into a quick break, which actually, you know what? Hold on. Let's do a quick break before we get into our first segment of the evening. So as I mentioned, going into the show, we have a new partner with us, Xylo. They're a nicotine pouch company, just like Zen. And basically, They're up and coming. Their product is very good. It's just like Zen. The only difference is they don't offer the 3 milligram like Zen. You get a 6 milligram or a 9 milligram. So realistically, you pop that lip pillow, your eyes are gonna be rolling to the back of your head. You're gonna be buzzing because very powerful stuff. So here's gonna be our first commercial of the night, 12 seconds long. It's not long, so we'll be right back, and then we'll get into our first segment. So check out our new partner, Xylo. As you see, their can looks just like a Zen can. We're ready to go. Ready to always pop a lip pillow, but no. First segment of the evening. Chris and I decided we were going to release our own preseason top 10s. And Chris sent me his. I haven't shown him mine yet. They're a lot different than each other. I can go ahead and tell you that right now. It is a very interesting situation. Hey, Seth Stanley, what's up, brother? Anchored down from Panama City Beach. I am jealous that you're in Panama City. I pity you because you're a Vanderbilt fan, but at least you get a nice stadium to sit in this year, so it works out.
Oh, and it's coming along too. I just checked it out on YouTube the other day.
I did.
It's coming along. I cannot wait for that thing to be finished. If it's anything close to what the North End Zone was, oh my God.
Yes, absolutely. Totally agree. And it's going to be absolutely amazing to see. I'm really hoping that the fans buy in after the season last year. I think Diego Pavia alone is going to sell tickets because people want to see him play. You have Eli Stowers this year, who is first team All SEC according to the media, which we may have to touch on that in a little bit because I absolutely hated.
Oh, I have some definite issues with the All SEC teams.
I do too. And look, this is not a knock at all, but Lenore Sellers is not the best quarterback in the SEC. I'm sorry. He's just not. He's a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but he is not the best in the SEC. But that is a topic for later in the show that we can debate. So I was waiting on this. Okay, so this is a 2-answer question for you. All right, so did I lose weight or did I shave my beard?
No, he gained weight.
No, the answer is yes, both. So I've lost about 20 pounds.
What?
Oh, yeah. So
your cheeks look so full tonight.
It's because of the beard. So I started a new diet. So I cut out a bunch of like fatty foods from my diet. I don't drink soda anymore. So since December, I have not. Well, I take that back. I've had one soda since December, which was today, actually, because I just needed something to drink. It was the first thing I could grab at work. And I was like, But I've cut out red meat, eggs, all that stuff from my diet, which not to say that those are bad, but I've had some gallbladder issues that really hurt me last year. And I didn't have it removed. I've done a natural route to get myself back healthy, feeling good. I changed my diet. Turkey is my new beef per se. So my go-to meal is brown rice, ground turkey, squash, natural honey, and feta cheese with a side of pita bread. That is my go-to meal. It is my favorite thing to eat in the world. I love it. So yes. So the answer is yes to both. I got a haircut the other day. The lady asked me if I wanted to cut my beard. I said, yeah, I want to cut it down a little bit. I want to keep it thick. But she misunderstood me, and I couldn't really see the mirror. And when I turned my head down, I looked and I said, oh, no. I don't like my beard this short. It's the first time it's been this short in a long time. I feel like I'm clean shaven and my face feels fat. And I hate it so much. But it's all good. Hey, I promise I'm real. And it's killing me that I don't drink sodas. But I tell you, going almost like 7 months without a soda and then having one today, that was the nastiest thing I have ever tasted. I mean, it's like I was drinking pure syrup. It was so bad.
Fair.
But it's all good. But anyway, let's get into these preseason top 10 rankings. We'll start off with Vandy Chris's preseason top 10. Let's get this added to the stage. All right, Chris, defend your list. Let's go.
I have Penn State playing Clemson in the national championship.
Okay.
I think they are head and shoulders better than everybody else in the country. Penn State last year getting into the Final Four, they were a year ahead of schedule.
I agree with that.
They were definitely lacking in the wide receiver room last year. They had guys coming in that they knew they had coming in. This is the year they've been gunning for. Clemson, Cade Cleveland, oh my God, he proved me so wrong last year. Going into last year, I was not high on him. He's the best quarterback in the country, bar none. Plus, Dabo Swinney finally played the transfer portal for the first time ever. Filled up some positions of need. It's very possible Clemson has 4 of the top 10 picks in the NFL draft.
Random question about Clemson. Do you know how many transfers Dabo took in?
Not a lot.
3.
Yeah.
I respect that so much, though.
And all he did was plug a couple of holes. That's all he did.
Exactly. He did it right.
Until somebody proves me wrong on Georgia and Texas, they're the next step down.
I mean, hey, Gunnar Stockton, he showed that he's got some skill. One thing he showed is he's tough as anything.
He's got some moxie to him.
He does. Much respect. Now, your Texas pick, let me just tell you, I'm going to knock you a little bit. And it's not that they're not talented at all, because they definitely have a very good roster room.
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to give Texas love until Arch Manning proves me wrong. Simple as that.
That's fair. But Texas might have the best linebacker room in the entire country.
It's fair.
They're very good in the secondary. They have a nasty offensive line. That's a really good football team.
But you got to remember, too, though, they lost a big portion of that offensive line as well.
Yeah, but when you've got 15 300-pound offensive linemen, losing 3 or 4
True.
of them isn't going to hurt you too much.
That's fair. I give you that.
Oregon, I think they're going to be good. I don't know if I trust the quarterback yet.
I think that's a fair one. He's got some experience under his belt, but not enough to be a. Yeah, I think 5 is a fair spot for them.
Ohio State, obviously spending another $20 million on that roster. They're going to be a factor.
Absolutely.
I don't think they're even close to what they were last year. Not at quarterback, not at wide receiver.
Quarterback, it's the same situation as Arch Manning. Julian Saban's got to prove us wrong.
Got to prove it.
Yeah.
Now, I have Illinois in here.
Yeah, that one I was going to ask you about. I know Luke Altmaier is a very good quarterback, but please explain
this. This is a team that went 10-3 last year.
Okay. Yeah.
They return just as much from that team as what Penn State returns.
Okay.
They're going to be really, really good.
That is a very, very interesting pick in your top 10, though, I will admit.
So I did put them ahead of South Carolina. I do think South Carolina is a 9 or 10 win team.
Okay.
They got the best defensive player in the SEC, bar none.
Won't argue that.
Their quarterback, the way he developed last year, and people can go back and check the videos. I was not sold on Lenore Sellers coming into the season last year.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, did he prove me wrong.
He's a playmaker.
There isn't a quarterback in the country that developed more than what he did last year. If he continues that same path, I see South Carolina winning another 9 or 10 games.
His biggest thing that he has to do this year, though, is figure out a way to make Nick Harbor wide receiver 1.
Yes.
The man is big, he's physical, he's fast, he's got good hands. He is a guy that they're going to have to really utilize.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the biggest key for them because he can only do so much with his legs.
Right.
So, which I'm not saying that he's not a good passer and won't get the ball out there. He definitely will. But that is one, though, that I am definitely keeping my eye on because I know South Carolina can be good this year.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just one of those things. Will they, though? Can they stay consistent?
Right.
Is the big question.
Can they stay on the ceiling and not start to step off a little bit? You get down around 7 to 8 wins, you kind of feel like that's a disappointing season.
Exactly. These next two, I'm going to need some explanations on. Notre Dame, I understand, but Arizona State, I'm not sold on.
Arizona State had to sneeze and I can't get it out. Arizona State returns one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the country.
If you say so.
The way Coach Dillingham designs his offensive plays, one of the best in the country.
Sure.
They play in the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of talent in the Big 12 right now.
Which is why I think they looked as good as they did last year.
Which means they should look just as good again this year.
Sure.
The concern is, what are they going to do in the running game without Scadaboo?
Yeah, he was Mr. Everything for them last year.
Fair. But as long as they have that quarterback and the play designs of Coach Dillingham,
yeah,
a very low talent Big 12, I think Arizona State's the team to beat right there.
Okay.
Notre Dame, when you look at their schedule, if you can find more than 1 or 2 losses on that schedule, I'm going to be shocked.
Yeah.
Because that schedule, Vanderbilt could go 10-2.
I
and
agree,
if you're a Notre Dame team that's going 10-2, you're going to be in the top 10.
Sure, absolutely.
Regardless of strength of schedule.
Yeah, I mean, and one good thing for them too is they got Jeremiah Love back, who is a fantastic running back, arguably the best running back in the country.
Yes.
So, I mean, they have a great offensive line. They have a very solid defense. I mean, they are a team to definitely keep an eye on, especially around the playoff time, because we know they're going to be good this year. No question about it. So your national championship is Penn State versus Clemson.
Yes.
Who wins it?
I got Penn State winning it.
Man, I like it. What's up, Dominic? How you doing, brother? All right. Now let's get to mine, which is a lot different. All right. So I have Clemson at number 1 because, like you said about Dabo, he returns a lot of production. He brought in the guys to fill the holes needed. Cade Klubnik is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He's very talented. I put them there because of where they finished last year and knowing the production they had coming back. I'm like, you know what? I got to do it. They're a very good team. And I'm going to tell you, my top 4, that was hard for me to sort through. I actually really researched this top 10. All right, number 2, I put LSU. Let me take my goggles off for this one. All right, Garrett Nussmeier comes back. Obviously, with Garrett Nussmeier, you know you have a very productive quarterback. He puts his heart and soul in the field. He has a very good backfield. He has Caden Durham coming back at running back. That's absolutely huge. But this year, he has one of, if not the best wide receiver rooms in the entire country. And it's one of the fastest wide receiver rooms at that. Offensive line, a lot to replace. It's hard to replace an Emory Jones, obviously, because, I mean, he was a stud all his years at LSU, and then Will Campbell, first-round pick, another absolute stud. Replacing them are not easy, but thankfully they were able to hit the portal, get some really big-name offensive linemen in the portal, really spent some money on that, got it going. I'm hoping that they mesh well and it works out. Some really good recruits coming in, looking good. Defensively, Coach Baker has his guys this year. He has a good front 7 for sure. Defensive line is loaded. Linebacker room is healthy and very good. You have Whit Weeks. You have Harold Perkins. They're going to let Harold Perkins play like Harold Perkins plays versus being stuck in a design system that is not what he plays. So this year he will be a loose animal on the field again. I'm very excited to see that. Defensive backs, obviously recruiting-wise, Corey Raymond did a great job getting some big-name guys. DJ Pickett's coming in. They dominated the transfer portal. LSU has the most depth that they've had in a very long time. And that really excites me. Brian Kelly, he made a challenge to the fans that, hey, I'll put up $1 million. Let's make it happen. So the money's there. The money's spent this year. There are no excuses for Brian Kelly. It's do it now, or we're going to have a very serious conversation at the end of the year. Move on to Penn State. Like I said, very loaded team, bringing back so much production from last year. The potential is there for them to really do something special this year. In the playoff last year, they were so physical. And that was something that it was nice to see when they got put up against a big team that they played physical football and they were in it to the end, regardless. So Penn State is definitely a team you have to watch. Ohio State, I'm keeping them up high. I still have a lot of faith in them. Julian Sayin coming in as the quarterback for them. He's got a lot of hype behind him. The game footage from high school, his camp footage, it's very impressive stuff. Obviously now it's a whole new animal for him, but he's got Jeremiah Smith to throw to. And let's be real, Chris, you or I could line up at quarterback at Ohio State and produce some good numbers if we threw the ball in Jeremiah Smith's direction. So that is a team you just have to watch. You already know they had depth already last year, because that was one thing about Ohio State that people forgot about is they dealt with so many injuries last year. So these guys that are now starters this year were starters going into the playoff. They were having to step up and take the place of the guys that were hurt. So I really think that Ohio State's extremely experienced, luckily, with their new starters. And they're going to be a team that they very much could win it all again this year. Then you got Georgia at 5 because they're there until they prove that they don't deserve to be there anymore. Losing Carson Beck, who was a very good system quarterback for them. I mean, that's hard to replace a guy like that. He did very good things for them. Gunnar Stockton's coming in, one of the toughest guys in football. They will be a team you have to monitor. Notre Dame, Jeremiah Love, should I say more, got them top 6. Alabama, I'm giving them love, okay? I didn't want to put them in my top 10 at all. I mean, I just had no reason to, I didn't think. But the more I look at their roster, I realize, okay, there's something there. Now, I think Ty Simpson should be the starting quarterback. At least that's where I'm hearing so far. I have nothing but respect for him because he's a guy that waited his turn, learned from the veterans ahead of him, and he was loyal to the program. And I very much respect that. Any quarterback that does that and doesn't bounce around school to school, I respect it. I mean, obviously I understand if you get an opportunity somewhere else, you got to take it. Okay. But the fact that Ty Simpson's done his job, stayed around, and waited his turn, nothing but respect there. The team that may surprise people here, Oklahoma. Oklahoma, they did lose some big names after last season. They had a very unfortunate season last year when they got welcomed to the SEC. There's no Jackson Arnold this year. So John Mateer is transferring in from Washington State. He's bringing his offensive coordinator with him. It's going to be a new look offense for Oklahoma. Should that type of offense translate to the SEC, Oklahoma is going to look good on the offensive side of the ball. They're very loaded at all their positions, really. They've got a good running game. Like, team definitely you're going to have to keep an eye on. They could be a dark horse in the SEC. Oregon, a team that Dante Moore is a good quarterback. He had a lot of hype coming out of high school. Unfortunately, he chose UCLA to begin with and just wasn't the right fit for him. And he's ready to start a new life at Oregon. Let's see what he can do. I know they lost their best receiver to an injury for the year, but Oregon is definitely going to be a dangerous team this year. And then my number 10 team, my shocker team, but a team that I'm actually really high on is Florida. Last year, DJ Lagway made his way as the starter after injuries, and he really played through some pain a lot in the season. He definitely grew as a human, as a quarterback. He did very well for the situation he was in. Florida, in terms of talent, they weren't the most talented team last year, but they were stubborn. And when it looked like Florida was doomed, which, by the way, I called 2-10. We got called out so hard by Florida fans, it looked like it was going to happen. And then, boom, light switch came on. The players, I mean, they love Billy Napier. They really do. And they played for the man. And, whoa, what just happened to my computer? That was weird. It just took me off the screen. They play for Billy Napier. Florida announces that his job is safe. That was another good thing for them. They returned some good talent, did very well in the portal. They lost a few guys in the portal, but I feel like they were able to add good replacements for those players. And I think DJ Lagway as a sophomore is going to be a very, very dangerous quarterback this year. Honestly, he could be a Heisman contender at the end of the season. He's really got some potential on him. And we saw the flashes of it last year. So as long as he's in sync with his receivers, should be a pretty good season for him. So how much do you hate my top 10, Chris?
So I don't have LSU anywhere close to the top 10. I'm not sold on their defense. I'm not sold on their running game. Yes, Nussmeier is fantastic, but he can't do it by himself. Just like Diego Pavia and Eli Stowers can't do it on their own. They have to have help somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Alabama, that's a stretch. I am not sold on Kalen DeBoer at Alabama.
I'm not either, but it's the talent of the players.
Okay, so let's address the Alabama talent, right?
Sure.
You talk about their wide receiver room. Everybody talks about Ryan Williams.
Hey, do you know he's 18 years old finally?
Yes. Did you know that the last 6 games last year, he never got over 53 yards receiving in any game?
They locked him down. They figured out DeBoer's plan.
Don't you think people are going to lock him down again?
More than likely.
So then who's Ty Simpson going to throw to? If not Ryan Williams.
That's a good point. It's a very good point.
Yes, Alabama has a great offensive line led by Caden Proctor. But guess what? Proctor's battled injuries his entire career.
That is true.
Can he stay healthy?
That's
I don't know that he can.
Yeah.
What about their secondary? Their secondary should be good. But guess what? I remember an Alabama secondary that returns everybody that was 30 yards behind Junior Searle in Nashville, Tennessee, and got their ass burnt.
It's true.
How good is that secondary? I don't think it's all that.
That's fair. It's fair. So Dominic says no Texas. Correct. I don't have Texas on there because they lost a lot of guys from their team last year. I am not sold on Arch Manning yet. I mean, the only real flashes we got from him as a starting quarterback was against Louisiana Monroe. And if I'm basing his future off of that game, we got a problem. No disrespect to Louisiana Monroe, but they were not a good team last year. They were a very, very bad team. And I've got to see that he can do it before I say Texas is going to be great this year. Sarkisian's a good coach. There's no question about it. Now that he's turned his life around, and gotten to Texas, he's definitely on a good path right now. And I like what I see out of him. But I need more. I need a little bit more out of him.
You took it off. I wasn't done critiquing it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Oops. There we go.
Oklahoma, they don't sniff the top 25.
Oh, you're psycho.
I have no faith in Brent Venables as a head coach.
I have plenty of faith.
I don't. Not after last year.
Don't make me text Tim Bailey and get him on this show. I'll get him on here right now.
Florida. The problem with Florida is also the future of Florida.
Okay.
DJ Lagway.
Yep.
Florida goes as far as he will take them.
That's fair.
Now, the problem is, how bad is the shoulder? Because remember, it was bad enough that they held him out of spring practice, and they consulted second and third opinions on that shoulder.
Yeah.
Some people say it needs surgery. Some people say it don't. What's really going on there?
Yeah,
If he cannot stay healthy, Florida doesn't sniff the top 25, much less the top 10.
that's fair. Hmm. I'm very curious to see what the actual preseason top 25 is going to look like.
I'm pretty sure my top 4 is going to be pretty close to what it is.
Sure. I think LSU will be in the top 10.
I don't know.
They should be because this team this year is a lot better than last year.
We hear that every year, though, and Brian Kelly continues to disappoint and disappoint and disappoint like the fraud that he is.
I say I'm not going to call him a fraud yet because I really think that
His first
this
year at
isn't-
LSU, he had the most talented roster in America. And what did he do with it?
he blew it.
Fraud.
Let's see. 2024. I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to say the least. All right, so you came up with some topics for tonight, and I'm going to let you lead the way into these segments because I want to hear your thoughts on them, and then I'll give my rebuttals to them. So let's start here with the 8 versus 9 games.
I'm going to start it out. Maybe if the Big Ten didn't get so freaking big that they were forced to go to a 9-game schedule, they could still play 8 games and they wouldn't have a leg to stand on bitching about the SEC only playing 8. Well, guess what? The SEC plays an 8-game schedule. Yes. However, they also haven't mandated that every team in the SEC plays a Power 4 out-of-conference opponent. It's the only conference in America that mandates that.
Yeah.
75% of the teams in the SEC last year played 10 Power 4 opponents.
Yeah.
Including Vanderbilt. They played 10 Power 4 opponents.
Yeah, how did that game with Virginia Tech go?
We beat them. And then we went and beat another ACC team in the bowl game.
Yep. Oh, here we go. If I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. Those Sooners will do a sneak attack on you. Don't ever overlook them. Believe me, I'm a Texas fan. I've lived through it. I see them doing a little better this season than last season, possibly a couple more wins than last year. I'm not going to argue it. I really I think you're right.
Do I think they win more than they did last year? Probably. I think they get 7-8 wins.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I think they're going to win 9, but it's fair.
But this 8-9 game schedule, you saw some reporting coming out of SEC media days claiming that Greg Sankey is supporting a 9-game schedule.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely not what he said.
Okay.
He literally said, we play 8 games. Nobody in America would trade any team in the SEC for their schedule. And they wouldn't, if we're being honest. We're mandated to play a 9th Power 4 game. 75% of the conference played 10 Power 4 games. They're not changing anytime soon. In fact, if they ever change, it'll be when the new TV deal comes up.
Yeah.
And that's in 2034.
Yeah,
this 9 games is a dead subject.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is this. It's always been 8 games for
Always.
a long time. And I don't see a reason to change it.
Since 1992.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. There were a few years where some of the teams were playing very weak out-of-conference schedules, Alabama. And so I get it, and it's
Who
not
cares?
– yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, like, like you'll see Alabama play some smaller teams. You'll see LSU play smaller teams. And it's a good and a bad thing. I mean, it's a good thing because it gets the other team some solid money for their program
Mm-hmm.
that they need. I like that LSU plays a lot of our in-state schools because we play Southeastern Louisiana. We play Louisiana Tech this year. I wish we were playing Tulane. I wish that could be a thing again, but I'm happy with playing those two teams because it gives them a good payout and it makes it worth it. Alabama will play some of those small schools from Georgia from time to time, from Tennessee, but for some reason they rarely play in-state schools, and I hate that so much. Do you know how bad I've wanted to see Alabama play a Troy or a South Alabama or a UAB,
I
someone like
want
that?
I want Alabama to play UAB.
I think everybody does. Thanks, Bear Bryant Jr. Jerk. But no, in Auburn they'll play their rinky-dink schedule of out of conference teams, like that New Mexico State team they played a few years ago. And
So tell me what you know about Mercer.
Mercer,
Uh-huh.
honestly, not a lot.
FCS semifinals last year. They are a threat to win the FCS national championship this year. That game in November at Jordan-Hare. If Auburn don't come in focused on that team, Mercer's going to beat them.
Well, they have to make sure
and
that Hugh doesn't have a golf round set up right there around that game.
but remember, the week before Mercer, they have a nice little road trip to Nashville.
Yeah.
And right after Mercer, they're getting a visit paid to them by that little team over there in Tuscaloosa. What's in that? Alabama.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Mercer is a trap game for Auburn in November between Vanderbilt and Alabama. I think Mercer wins that football game.
I mean, they very well could. I mean, the problem for Auburn this year is they do have some good talent.
They getting arrested, bro.
Exactly.
They've had two starters arrested in the past month. One of them's already kicked off the team. The other one paid a $20,000 bond.
So DJ Barber, the one for drugs, is he the one that was kicked off the team?
Kicked off the team.
Okay, that makes sense. So he went to my alma mater, Clay Chalkful High School. When I saw that come out, I saw the name and I said, "Oh God, I know that name." And I was like, "Oh no!" And then I read what he did, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Did you read what this other guy did?
So, yeah, that was even worse. But let me ask you though. So, with that situation with DJ Barber, remember a couple seasons ago, Tony Mitchell at Alabama got arrested pretty much for the same thing. But yet he just got a slap on the wrist from Nick Saban and stayed on the team. I mean, he transferred away and all that, but
I mean,
which I wonder what happened to him. I never saw where he ended up after all that happened. Let's see. Because Tony Mitchell, he went to the high school that's right here by my he plays for Mississippi State now.
Okay.
I mean, he's a 5-star recruit. Kid was very good safety in high school. I mean, as long as he's got a good head on his shoulders now, I can take it. Oh my gosh. Tim Bailey just texted me. I love it.
He commented too.
Did he? Oh.
Uh-huh.
What's up, Tim? They really do want to be like Auburn. I mean, it's absolutely insane at this point. I mean,
yeah. On the whole 9-game schedule, throw that shit to the curb. Ain't no sense in it.
Yeah.
If we're really considering player safety, it's got to be 8 games. Screw the Big Ten for trying to throw a wrinkle in this. And if you listen to Greg Sankey in what he said this week, there is no agreement anywhere between the SEC and the Big Ten to do anything.
Yeah.
The SEC controls the apples right now, and I'm telling you, the way Greg Sankey's talking, I don't lose any sleep over it. your playoff scenario is going to be 5-11, and the SEC is going to stay at 8 games, and Greg Sankey's going to say, "Here you are, take it, see you."
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna pull this. Let me pull this up real quick. So, Tim, I tell you what, come on our show next week because he just texted me asked if we have room. Come next week on our show because we're all actually about to go off the air here in probably like 10 minutes. Come on next week because it's going to be a bigger show, and I'll actually send you a message to explain the plan in that because it's going to be absolutely crazy. So before we go to our next topic, the media predicted the order of finish for the SEC. Texas, Georgia, Bama, LSU was your top 4. Texas had 96 first place votes, Georgia 44, Bama 29, LSU 20. Then it was South Carolina, Florida, Ole Miss, A&M. South Carolina had 5 votes, Florida had 2 votes, Ole Miss had 1 vote. A&M had 0 votes.
You forgot somebody.
Who?
You forgot somebody.
I'm going in order. I've read the top 8.
Vanderbilt had 2 votes.
I'm not done. I'm getting to them. Tennessee, OU, Auburn, Mizzou. Tennessee had 1 vote. OU had 3 votes. Auburn had 1 vote. Mizzou had 0. And then Vanderbilt at 13. Arkansas, Kentucky, Mississippi State. Vanderbilt, of those, is the only one that had votes. They had 2 votes. I want to know who gave them those votes.
Vanderbilt will finish ahead of Missouri and Auburn.
Hey, well, hold on now. They may not finish ahead of Missouri. Missouri has one of the easiest schedules in the SEC that you could ask for.
And they lost 95% of their offensive production.
Yeah, look who they brought in, though. They brought some really good names in.
They brought in a backup quarterback from the Big Ten.
Who
a backup.
Very solid.
Well, based on what? He's a backup. He never played.
When he did come in, he looked good. Because he had no choice. He had to replace the injured quarterback. So, hey. So, Tim, I don't know if you saw this here. I'm going to pull this up just for you to see real quick. So, right here is Chris's top 10, okay? But then here's mine. I have Oklahoma at 8. You're welcome. And I am very high on Mateer, as you know. So, I got some love for you there. Chris thinks 7 or 8 wins for OU. I think 9 wins for OU. Which, this year, I think 9 wins can get you in the playoff. I really do.
Depends who those 9 wins are against.
No, very true. And I mean, obviously, there's a limit for how many teams in your conference can get in. So essentially, you have to finish top 4 in the SEC to be even considered to be in the playoff at this point. And there's not a guarantee that 3 and 4 would even get in. The top 2 will more than likely get in, but 3 and 4 should get in, but it's not a guarantee. On paper, OU should be very good. If they don't win that many, Brent should be gone. No, totally agree. Totally agree on that. I think that a down year this year for OU will lead to some serious conversations, especially with the change in the administrative staff. That will definitely lead to something interesting. But I think Brent made a really good hire for offensive coordinator, and I think that that's going to carry over well for them. It'll be a new look offense for the conference to see because that's the type of offense that you don't really see utilized in the SEC. So will it work? Will it not work? It's just one of we don't know yet. I think Mateer will do fine. I think he'll have a great season, but we just don't know.
So back on that Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that Missouri wins a single SEC game.
Let me see their schedule, and I'll tell you what I think real quick.
I think they're going to be bad.
All right, so let's see. They'll start out 1-0 Central Arkansas, 2-0 against Kansas, 3-0 after you. Well, actually, no, they're going to be 2-0 UL. Let me tell you something. Louisiana Lafayette, that's a team to watch out for. They're going to be good this year. They had a good season last year, returned a lot of players, but they have a new quarterback and a stud wide receiver coming in. Walker Howard transferring from LSU to Ole Miss, now to UL. returning to his hometown. You have Shelton Sampson Jr., who was a 5-star wide receiver out of high school. That's going to be insane. I'm 2-1 right there. South Carolina at home, probably lose that one. UMass, that'll be a win. Bama at home, Auburn on the road, Vandy on the road, A&M at home, Mississippi State at home, OU on the road, Arkansas on the road. They can win.
Where's the easy?
Arkansas, Mississippi State, potentially Texas A&M,
Mississippi State.
Auburn.
Mississippi State just flipped their roster by bringing in 60 new scholarship players this year.
Sure.
60.
But see, with Mississippi State, we just don't know what we're going to get out of them.
That's fair.
And they also lost their starting quarterback.
But that's not – Blake Shapen's back.
I'm talking about Michael Van Buren, the guy that took his spot.
Well, Blake Shapen is back. The only reason they lost his spot is because he got hurt.
Exactly. So,
But there's no easy on that schedule. Maybe Arkansas, but there's no easy on that schedule.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They could at least win 6 games this year. Maybe a couple more.
Who they beating in the SEC?
I'm going to stick to Arkansas, Mississippi State, Auburn, at least those 3.
They're not going to Auburn and beating them.
Says who?
I'm just telling you, they're not beating Auburn at Auburn. They're not beating Vanderbilt and Nashville.
So I will tell you this. I'm going to talk as much smack about Auburn as I can leading up to the season to try to summon the ghost of Kenny. Whatever it takes to get him to pop out. But no, I could see 2 to 3 wins for them in the conference, to be honest. So, that being said, if they were – but, again, another thing, though, to consider, though, is their roster is just not bad, though. I'm going to pull up their depth chart.
Okay. Let me explain what they lost.
Okay.
They lost Brady Cook, their quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They lost Theo Weiss and Luther Burden.
Okay.
They lost both of their top 2 running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the production coming from?
Well,
who's the backup quarterback from Penn State going to throw the ball to?
Kevin Coleman.
And he's got what?
Last year he had 932 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns.
Where at?
At Mississippi State.
Okay. That's fair.
Okay.
Who else is he going to throw to? Because you can't just throw to one guy.
Sure, he's got Joshua Manning, who had 192 receiving yards last year and a touchdown. He's got Marquise Johnson, who had 352 receiving yards and a touchdown. So obviously these were the guys that were kind of stuck. He's got a grad transfer coming in from Illinois State named Xavier Lloyd. He started at Kansas State. Let's see, tight end. He's got Brett Norfleet coming in, who had 235 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns last year. Respectable for a tight end. But a player that you have to remember, Ahmad Hardy.
I'm telling you,
really good running back that everybody wanted last year.
I don't think Missouri wins a single SEC game.
That's rough. Well, last year, Ahmad Hardy had 1,351 rushing yards, 13 touchdowns. He had 8 receptions for 72 yards. So obviously, it was against a weaker schedule.
And let's think about their quarterback, right? He's back up at Penn State. Yes, he had Drew Allar in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, there was a lot of criticism about Drew Allar being inconsistent. And this kid couldn't knock an inconsistent Drew Allar out of the starting spot.
It's fair. All right, so last year, Bo went 26 to 35, a 74.3%. Completion percentage for 275, 5 touchdowns and interception. Year before, he went 11 to 21, 149 with 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. He had 4 rushing touchdowns last year. He had 242 rushing yards. Year before, he had 56 rushing attempts for 329 with 6 touchdowns. So, he can get it done both ways. Gritty guy. I mean, as long as his offensive line can hold up, which there's no proof that they will. I mean, he's got a transfer from West Virginia. He's got grad transfer from Michigan. He's got let's see,
So
transfer
and
from Wake.
I like what Tim Bailey's saying here. Missouri will beat Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, in his opinion. Let me tell you, they should have never beaten Vanderbilt in Missouri last year. They're not coming into Nashville and beating Diego Pavia. That is not happening. That game has been circled for a purpose because a bad call cost us that game.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
It has been circled.
Yep. All right, let's move on to our next topic. Talk about the delay of game situation.
I'm not even understanding what they're changing the rule to, but my understanding is if the offensive line or the offense makes a late change, and the defense goes to make a change too, that it's a judgment call on whether or not the official throws a flag for delay of game on the defense.
See, and that's weird.
I don't like that. 12 men on the field is 12 men on the field. Throw the damn flag.
Yeah.
Get your fat ass off my field.
What did you call offensive linemen on Twitter today? And I thought it was the funniest thing ever. You were talking to someone about this topic. You called it wasn't big bodies, was it?
I forget I know exactly what conversation you're talking about too.
Yeah, it popped up on my feed and I just started laughing this morning. Also would like to give a shout out to Mark Fain Jr. I saw that you commented on the very old Twitter post from preseason last year. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find it. What do we got here?
I don't guess it was that one. But
hold on, I'll find it. Give me just a second, because your comment was it was hilarious to me, and I don't think you commented too much on. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Oh God, I'm gonna have to go up in your replies on this one.
I remember saying something to somebody about
fat body.
Ass.
You call them fat bodies.
Get your fat body off my damn field. 12 men is 12 men. There's no opinion about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the point in changing that rule. I think it just needs to stay as is and stop, because at the end of the day, I don't think it's fair for a referee just to make an assumption and be like, oh, well, I'm not going to throw a flag here.
Mm-hmm.
But then the next week, the same thing happens and he throws a flag.
Right.
There's no consistency in that rule, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all, actually.
Well, beyond that, I'm not a fan of this specialized defensive bullshit that we've gotten ourselves into. Well, if this player's on the field, I need to take these three off and rush these three. Screw that shit. If you're a good defensive coach, you don't need to change plays based on who the players are in the game. You're going to line up and you're going to play smash mouth defense. I dare you to run the ball on me. I dare you to throw the ball on me. I ain't got to change my damn defensive players every time you change an offensive player late in the snap.
There you go. I love it.
Get your fat ass off my field.
I'm clipping that. All right, let me add this here. So now we're gonna move to our next segment. This is gonna be a good one. Let's talk about our partners.
Okay.
So, as you all know, we're partnered with Chinook Seedery, best seeds in the game. Use promo code Golden Broom, get 10% off your purchase. Love working with them. But we have two new partners: Xylo pillow pouches for your lip. They're awesome. going to be talking about them more in the future. But Chris, I want you to introduce our newest partner here.
So I have had the pleasure of doing some business with a small private-owned company in Avoca, Iowa, called Midwest Masterpiece. They are a printing company, and the Golden Broom podcast has now partnered with them. We do have our design listed on their website. There's a link. You go to midwestmasterpiece.com. You click on the Golden Broom logo. You can order tumblers, apparel.
Do you want to pull their page up and show everybody?
Yeah, let me do that.
And then you can show your shirt off. Which I'm just going to throw it out there. When I get my shirt, I'm not getting Vandy Chris on my shirt, by the way.
Fair. So, as you can see, nice little website. They got a quick link here. You can also click on our graphics down here. That takes you to where the shirt is. Shirts are $20. If you get extra sizes like XXX, XXX, 4X, it does cost $3 extra. You can get short sleeve, long sleeve, crew neck. Hoodies are obviously more. Pick your colors. Here's the back of my shirt. It's also got my name on the front. You can also get magnets. We had some magnets done. Absolutely fun company to work for or work with, and their turnaround is amazing. I ordered my shirt. 24 hours they had the mock-up done, and it was printed.
Yeah, that was absolutely amazing, by the way. Like that morning you hit me like, hey, I need a logo. I was like, I got you. Send it to you, and then bam, it was done. I was
that
like,
quick.
I like that.
She can get specific colors. Like I don't know if you can see it very well on my shirt. It's got my name, Vandy Chris. It is in the Vanderbilt gold. So
yeah, like
she can latch on to specific colors. Just a great company to start up and get some merch going with. If you want Golden Broom podcast merch, hit them up. Order you some.
Absolutely. Very excited about partnering with them. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, man, it's cool. It's nice to have some new partners to deal with, and hopefully we can add some more going forward, because going into season 4, one thing that we're going to have is different segments, and we've kind of brought that back tonight, which has been nice. Stayed on a nice little track here. But we will have the titled segments, and then we'll release our thoughts in those. But the biggest question of the night, Chris, what's your final thoughts?
Oh, I got a couple.
I'm ready.
So final thoughts. I want to see what Texas Tech does.
I do too, actually. They got a lot of money.
In a very watered down and talent-laden conference of the Big 12, what does that $28 million roster look like? Can they be the Arizona State of last year, sneaks their way into the playoffs, wins a Big 12 championship? It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
On another note, the G5 schools, who's the favorite? I actually have two.
Okay.
I think the winner of the Navy USF football game is going to be your G5 representative in the playoff.
Interesting.
I actually think USF beats Boise State handily on opening weekend in Tampa.
You love some Golish, man.
Golish, I'm telling you, Alex Golish is building a monster down there.
Man, I'm looking at this Texas Tech roster right now, man. They really loaded up.
$28 million, my friend.
I forgot they got Hunter Zambrano, who was the best offensive lineman in the portal last year. My God.
You know who picked up the number 3 offensive lineman in the portal?
I'm assuming Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt did. The kid from Liberty.
Oh, that's right. I did forget about that. Man, Texas Tech's got a solid little squad on them this year. Man, they really did bring in some good guys from the portal.
When a billionaire says he's going to buy a championship, what do? You go out and spend money, right?
It's true. I mean, their quarterback that's coming back last year, he threw for 3,335 yards with 63.3% completion percentage, 27 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. But he did that with a team that was kind of limited in their
Wasn't very
receiving
good.
core.
Yeah.
I mean, so he's got a receiver coming back that had 652 yards receiving, one that had 877 yards receiving, and then he's got a new guy coming in from Miami, Ohio that had 816 yards receiving last year. That's pretty promising to say the least. So, I mean, some veteran receivers, a veteran offensive line. Man, like this is gonna be a solid little roster on them. Okay. I like your pick for the G5s. I think that's very safe. I actually think we might see a Sunbelt squad knocking on the door at the end of the year. Got a few teams that are really solid in the Sunbelt this year.
But if Navy or USF go undefeated in
Oh.
AAC,
It's totally different. Yeah.
they're getting in.
Yeah. Oh, I won't even argue that. I totally agree. Which, by the way, I think we need to reach out to our old friend Benjamin Franklin from Navy and see what he's up to.
I'm down.
Let me see if he's on the depth chart of doing anything this year. Don't see him listed anywhere. In terms of like being a starter. All right, so he is still on the roster. He's defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
He appeared in every game as a member of the special teams, making his collegiate debut in the midshipman's opener against Bucknell.
and he enters the fall on the depth chart at second on the depth chart at defensive end this year, which is very, very good. Very cool. Oh, it's major cyber operations. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a fun interview. You could tell he was excited for it. Maybe he'll want to come back on, but I know with the season approaching, it's going to be very hard to get football players at this point. So
there's one football player in particular that I want to get on our show this year.
I don't think we'll be able to land him.
I'm not going to rest until he does. He's a sophomore in high school, and I want to get to him before anybody else does.
Yeah, I mean, I fully agree. I think it'd be fun to pick his brain because the way he played last year, obviously he's much more mature than his age, and I think it'd be cool to get him on.
This kid threw for 4,100 yards as a freshman in high school with a 73% completion percentage,
which is just unheard of.
You just don't do that.
Yeah. The very popular quarterback from Thompson High School, Trenton Seaborn, he was in that situation, came in from high school, led the varsity team to the state championship. And I actually talked to him and tried to get him to come on, but he essentially refuses to do interviews. And it's not that he doesn't want to, but it's more that he's so focused on his craft that he just doesn't participate in the outside noise unless it's like a group setting per se. And I totally respect it. I really do.
Fair.
It wasn't like he's saying, "Oh, I don't want to entertain it." It's what he does. So I'm like, okay, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be offended by that. So we're planning on having some guests on the show pretty soon. But the one thing I think we're gonna have to do is so the way that I think the Golden Broom should be, and I'm sure you'll agree, Chris, like we're a sports show. We're not just solely football. We're not solely baseball. I mean, obviously we go with what the season is, but during this time of year, I think interviewing baseball players is probably going to be a thing for us in a lot of cases.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in talks right now. Arkansas Little Rock had a star player stick out in the postseason in baseball. Angel Cano just absolutely hammered LSU in the regional. I mean, he was unstoppable. I mean, it was ridiculous. And he did a lot of interviews on TV. He was the most popular player of the regionals across the country. I actually reached out to him literally the day that he had his big game, where he first made the impact, and he saw my message finally today and responded back. So he basically, hey, sorry I didn't see this. I would have definitely loved to come on. So I sent him a message back. I'm gonna try to get him set up for an interview because I want to hear his story. I mean, he wasn't raised in the continental United States or whatever, so his story to get into baseball is gonna be a lot different than what you see
Mm-hmm.
from basic players. So definitely, definitely want to hear his story and get it going. So we're gonna set that up with him. Reached out to a few football players. Unfortunately, just don't see it happening. Those dang Vandy boys, they just don't care, I guess. Trying to give them some fun exposure, and they don't want to respond.
I mean,
But I get it. Like it doesn't hurt my feelings or anything. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean the season's approaching, and you gotta do what you gotta do. Like I think leading into like next season, I think the one thing I will do is like during baseball season, I want to reach out to a lot of athletes and do a bunch of pre-recorded interviews so we have them on deck for later shows when football comes up. I think that would work. I think that would really work out for us because I think trying to book football players during the season is just nearly impossible.
fair.
Look, we're an up and coming show. We're growing, but we're not where we want to be yet. And I mean, honestly, tonight it's a little. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of deflating with our views tonight. I was hoping they'd have been a lot better. But I get it. I do. It's we took a week off, unfortunately, and it wasn't intentional. It was because I had some computer issues last week, which thankfully they're fixed now and it's all good. Just computer needed an update, but it is what it is. Tony Thomas, my friend, what is up, man? How are you doing? Tony Thomas, by the way, he is a writing machine. He puts out some of the best articles that you could ever read. He's writing for, I believe it's Athlon Sports now, which is huge. So, man, I'm looking forward to the good pieces that's going to be coming from Tony this season. Cannot wait. Which, by the way, I think we should announce this before we close the show. These will be my final thoughts. Chris and I are back to our writing roots this year. We'll be joining college football backers. So you may have heard of the Big Ten Backers podcast. They have a new website, College Football Backers. It's got a lot of the crew on it that we know, that we've worked with in the past, that we really respect. We really like these guys. We're going to be writing for them a little bit. And also, I will be writing for Sunbelt Syndicate. As you remember, a few weeks ago, we did a show with them with Dominic and TJ. Absolutely wonderful show. Love working with those guys. I had my first article actually published on their site recently talking about the Sunbelt's impact on the new college football game. It was a fun read. But I have another one I'm working on. It'll actually be talking about University of Louisiana and their impact for this year with Walker Howard coming in as well as Shelton Sampson Jr., because obviously I'm very familiar with those two guys. So I wrote a little piece up about them because I really am high on this team this year. But just very excited to be spreading out into those avenues this year. I'm ready for season 4 to really kick off. I think it's going to go really good. I think the goal for this year is to grow our YouTube presence, really get big on there, because eventually I'm going to expect to be on the sidelines every Saturday at football games, if I'm being real. Even though I'd much rather
Fair enough.
baseball credentials, but I will take what I can get.
Right.
I mean, my dream is to get credentialed for the SEC baseball tournament. That's the only one I even care about. But, they hate me, even though I've been to the tournament more than the people that work for them have. But it's all good. And yes, they are going to be good. They have such a loaded roster, returning a lot of guys from last year. They have a lot of good incoming transfers coming in. It's a team you've got to keep an eye on. They're going to be very talented.
I just don't know. I don't know that they're going to be good enough to match South Florida and Navy win for win.
So my thing with UL is, last year they won 10 games. They did very good. They made it to their conference championship game. They lost to Marshall. They lost their bowl game, the New Mexico Bowl, to TCU. But they're returning so much of that heavy end of talent that it's going to be hard to overlook them. Southern Miss is a team you got to watch out too. Yeah, Tony says they're going to win 8 games this year. I would not be surprised. That's a team that I'm waiting to see how they do in the NIL era. I think they can do well. They'll definitely do well in baseball, but in football, I think that's going to be an interesting avenue to follow. Because it's hard. I mean, no disrespect to Hattiesburg, Mississippi, but that's a tough recruiting pitch.
So how would that work for Navy?
Okay.
Let's say they go 12-0, make it 13-0, winning the AAC championship game.
Okay.
And they qualify for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work for them?
What do you mean? They're in.
Are military schools a given that they get to play in the playoffs?
I mean, I think
you see where I'm going with that. Is it a given that they'd be able to play?
I think they would have to be. And the reason I say that is because if they were independent like Notre Dame, I think it'd be different. But now that they're part of a conference, I think it elevates them more. And
I mean, yeah, if they're 13-0, they're getting in.
Yeah.
But you see where I'm going with the if you back off and look at it from the military side of it, would those guys be able to go?
Why wouldn't they be able to?
Maybe part of their training would prevent it. I don't know.
I feel like in that situation, because due to the financial payout from making it to the playoff, I think that there would be exceptions made for that. Because when you're at the Naval Academy, I mean, your job essentially at that point is football. I mean, obviously you have to go through your training every day and all that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I feel like if that was prevented, I feel like they would not be D1.
Good point.
Because I feel like essentially, I've never seen the contracts that teams have with the NCAA per se, or with their conferences, but you would think that it would be required for you to play in the playoff if extended an invitation. Right?
Makes sense. I would think so.
I think that's something we have to research.
Yeah, just something I thought of today is, what if Navy did go unbeaten? Would they be able to play?
Yeah, I mean, look right there. Tony says it. I mean, anything and everything get them there, and I agree with that. I think they would. Yeah. Andrew's getting us some shares here. I like it. But yeah, I think they'd be in. I think it'd be fun. But I want to research that though, just to kind of see how that works, because that is interesting.
Good question. I mean, we've never had to answer that question before because we've never had a military team that was good enough to be talked about in the playoffs. I mean, Army and Navy both came close last year, but everybody knew Boise State was getting that slot no matter what.
Now, okay, so then let's think of this real quick before we close out. The really good pitcher from Navy a few years ago, what was his name again?
Noah Song.
Yes, Noah Song, remember? he was one of the best pitchers in the entire country, but he had to delay his situation
Hmm.
because of his military commitment,
Yes.
which is a shame because
And
he was his
they
best.
had one before Noah Song too. What his name? Gillingham or something like that.
Yeah, Gil. That's who I'm thinking of. Let me look up something.
Led the nation in strikeouts one year, and then the next year Noah Song led the nation.
Who was it?
Because they did get to play in the NCAA tournament that year.
Yeah. Let me see.
I agree with Tony Thomas that Blake Horvath is a beast, and I just don't know that there's anybody in the AAC that is going to beat Navy. South Florida's in the AAC too, right?
Yes.
So then it would come down to those two. If I think South Florida is that they're a problem.
All right. So here's an update for you. Luke Gillingham. He made
That's
the
it.
highest he made it was high A baseball in the Blue Jays organization. He went in the 37th round in 2016 because obvious reasons. He appeared in 29 games, 4-2 record, 45 innings pitched, 61 strikeouts, had a 2.6 ERA, but he is voluntarily retired. Retired after the 21 season. And then let's
And then
see.
after that came Noah Song at
Yep.
Navy.
Let's see what he did or is doing.
I think they let him out of his military contract so he could play pro ball. I think.
Let's see. All right. So he is active in the minors. This year he's only thrown 2 innings, no hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. I mean, but he's had good numbers in the pros. So, oh no, he did not get let out of his military contract, sir. So he went 20. All right, so 2019 was his last year in college. He did not reappear until 2023,
Okay.
and his 2023 year, and he did not pitch in 2024. But 2023, he would. Ow. They actually started him out in AAA ball. Weird. Anyway, he threw 3.1 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs. But for the year in 2023, 32.2 innings pitched, 31 hits, 22 walks, 31 strikeouts. And he finished with a 5.51 ERA. Didn't pitch 2024, but 2025 this year, he has been in 4 different leagues. It looks like he's in AA right now. And in AA, he's appeared in 9 games. And he has a 1.96 ERA, 18.1 innings pitched, 12 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, and 9 walks to 17 strikeouts. So he's making his way. But the fact that he had to go 4 years without playing the game
That's tough.
in baseball, that's not easy.
Mm.
Football, I think you could manage.
On football, you can't. There's no way to do it in football. There's no way to keep your game speed and game shape up in football.
Unless you're Roger Staubach. I mean, and yeah. Vandergriff, he did retire. He definitely did. He is living a normal life now. I follow him on social media. That's the only reason I know that. But yep, he sure did. Anywho, this was episode 1 of season 4 of the Golden Broom podcast. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It really means a lot. And I'm glad that our numbers jumped up here in the last half of the show. That was very nice to see. We will do, or let me rephrase that. We have to do a better job of advertising it a little bit more. I did one little post on social media yesterday announcing for tonight, but It is what it is. Thank you, Tony, for the compliment. Much appreciated, my friend.
I'm glad to have Tony back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yes, like I said, Friday nights, 8:30 Central. We may go back to the Monday. We may have to go back to the Monday format as well eventually. It may just be it is what it is kind of thing. But right now, Friday nights. Thank you guys for watching. I would say probably not this coming week, but the week after, we will start releasing some YouTube videos. We get them scheduled. Got to reach out to some people to get them to be part of said videos, see what their schedule looks like. Chris and I will discuss who we want to have come join us and all that. Then we'll do a formal invitation to these people. But thank you guys so much for watching tonight. Hope you have a good night, and we will see you next week.
On the diamond